On October 3, 2024, 30-year-old Rashun Demon Gary was clocked at 90 miles per hour in a 60 zone on Highway 18 near Leachville. When Trooper Harris tried to stop him, Gary floored it, kicking off a dangerous high-speed pursuit.
Oncoming traffic. Coming up on here near Nestle. We'll be coming through here in just a second.
Yep, got 8 1 off.
Look up behind you, he's swerving towards you.
Looking for that Charger. And before we get to Jones.
So Adam Tom John 34 Edward ATJ 34E. Great Chevy Equinox.
11 Jonesboro on secondary, 42, I'll call it.
Yep.
Driving in oncoming traffic, TBI.
Trooper Drum caught up and hit the SUV with a clean pit at 130 miles per hour. The move worked. Gary's SUV spun out, but the trooper also lost control and crashed into a grassy field. Drum was hurt, but still got the job done. Gary jumped out and ran, but it didn't last long. He was caught and taken to the hospital, then straight to jail. He now faces felony fleeing and second-degree battery, and he's sitting on a $75,000 cash-only bond. On December 27, 2021, in Bibb County, Georgia, Joseph Silas was clocked flying at 90 miles per hour on Interstate 75 in his Ford Ranger. When a trooper tried to pull him over, he slowed for a moment like he was giving up, then suddenly passed another car, showing he had no plans to stop.
Seven off the side. One 7 off the side.
The truck rolled several times down an embankment before crashing on its side. This was one of the most violent pits I have ever seen. Silas was still strapped in, complaining about his arm and panicking about losing his job. He admitted he'd been drinking and knew he messed up. He was lucky he wore a seatbelt. Without it, that rollover could have been fatal. He was arrested for DUI and taken to the hospital for a blood test. On September 15, 2024, around 4:25 a.m., Trooper Kenneth Ray was patrolling Gandy Bridge in Pinellas County when he spotted a car speeding and swerving across lanes. He moved in to make a traffic stop, but the driver had no plans of pulling over. Near the bridge, Trooper Ray used a pit maneuver that slammed the car into the guardrail, sparks flying as metal scraped across concrete. Right after the crash, the passenger threw something out of the vehicle. Officers recovered it shortly after and confirmed it was drugs. The female driver and male passenger were both taken into custody. With drug charges and felony fleeing on the table, they're both now facing serious time behind bars. June 27, 2023, a 911 caller spotted a silver Lincoln MKZ blazing down the shoulder of I-530. Patrol units clocked it near exit 36 at about 100 miles per hour, weaving between lanes. Troopers locked in at ramp 39, turning the alert into a full-on high-speed chase.
Let me around, sorry. Yeah, just north of 73, slow down to bring it up,
Trooper delivered a brutal PIT. The Lincoln whipped into a spin, slammed hard into the guardrail, and was totaled on impact before ricocheting back into the lane and clipping the cruiser. Suspect Casey Register crawled out with minor scratches and was cuffed. Troopers found a vape pipe and THC oil inside. After a quick hospital check, he was booked into Dub Brassel Jail on felony, fleeing, reckless driving, and drug charges. Trooper Dylan Evans clocked an orange and black Dodge Charger at 83 miles per hour on Interstate 40. He flipped on his lights and the car pulled onto the shoulder looking like a routine stop. Evans smelled raw marijuana and asked driver Brandon Williams to turn off the engine and step out. Williams turned the key, hit the gas, and shot back onto the highway. With Williams weaving through lanes and shoulder at more than 140 miles per hour, Trooper C. Wright joined the chase, the two cruisers racing to keep up while traffic scattered. Around 130 miles per hour, Trooper Wright tapped the Charger's rear, sending it spinning into the concrete barrier. Metal shrieked, sparks sprayed everywhere, and the car slammed to a stop. A PIT at that speed could have ended far worse. Williams hurled a Ziploc bag, about 90 grams of marijuana, over the wall. Troopers found a digital scale in the car and another small bag on him. He left with a cut above his eye and a long list of charges for fleeing and drug possession. Arkansas Trooper Donnie Cheers and another cruiser zeroed in on a stolen SUV, screaming along at 130 miles per hour. The driver wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Two bad choices about to collide in the worst way. Cheers' dash cam showed the lead unit closing the gap, waiting for the perfect moment to shut the rundown. At 130 miles per hour, the trooper's tap sent the SUV rolling, 8 full flips before it slammed down in a grassy field. Mid-air, the unbelted driver was thrown out, hitting the ground hard but somehow still alive. Dazed from the crash, the driver staggered to his feet and tried to sprint off. He made only a few shaky steps before troopers closed in. Out of breath and banged up, he raised his hands and was cuffed on the spot. It all started with a white BMW flying past Walmart doing 114 miles per hour, like the red light didn't even exist. Typical BMW energy, speed over sense. The moment the officer pulled out, the driver stomped the gas and the chase was on.
Here he comes.
At Grassy Lake Bridge, troopers nailed the spike strip deployment. The suspect's tires got shredded and his speed started to drop. But even with flats, he kept pushing.
25 primary, I'm secondary. 25, you can't get over and get stopped. I'm looking at the three lanes almost to top of the hill here. Speed is slow practically. We're down to about 90 now. We're still about 120 catching up to it. Trying to be able to
Trooper Cheers stepped up and at 105 miles per hour, he delivered a clean PIT that sent the BMW flying off the road into a ditch. Out of nowhere, Two dogs leapt out of the wreck and took off running across the field. Ethan Matthew German was hit with a long list of charges: felony fleeing, aggravated assault, reckless driving, speeding at 135 miles per hour, and more. As for the dogs, both were later found safe and uninjured. February 21st, 2024, troopers in Escambia County were alerted about a suspect vehicle fleeing from State Road 29. The driver, Noel Almargo Petanguat, was wanted out of Wisconsin on multiple felony warrants. Troopers spotted his Audi sedan entering Interstate 10 and tried to stop him, but he took the nearest exit and pushed over 100 miles per hour through city streets, refusing to give up.
You took the exit, I'll get out the old gate. You took the exit, and then you get right back on westbound. Get right back on westbound. And he's taking the right turn on Molina, right turn Molina westbound, 482. No, don't get it right up the curve.
Near Molino Road, a trooper hit the Audi's rear left side with a PIT. The crash was brutal. The car flipped multiple times through a ditch before landing upright. Noel Petanguat had felony warrants out of Wisconsin and a suspended license. During the chase, he caused 2 hit-and-runs and injured 2 deputies. Wisconsin wouldn't extradite, but Florida hit him with multiple serious charges. On March 29, 2025, Officer Irvin with the Fairburn Police Department clocked a Dodge Challenger ripping down I-85 at 101 miles per hour. When the blue lights came on, the driver floored it, turning the highway into his playground.
Radio code for you, last call unit to 16, sector driver 81. Call unit 16, sector driver 81.
Definitely, but I got close shallow. I'm still going. 40, are you still in it, Paul? Or are you going? Where are you going? I'm a couple units behind you. Got way in front of me. Alright, that's all. Passing 49 southbound. Still light drive lane 4.
Read 120.
Yeah, fire 120.
The Challenger weaved dangerously through traffic, hitting speeds near 140, but Officer Irvin stayed locked on, waiting for the right chance to shut it down.
I'm on Victor 48.
Coming up on the 47.
36. 110, Victor 47.
Alright, we are coming up on the 47. White traffic, 1.
almost 24 hours later, so I think something I'm working with.
Hit 41, hit 41.
41 received, hit 41 midnight 30 received. Location.
Irvin executed a precision pit that sent the Dodge spinning like a pinball across the highway. The driver bailed from the wrecked Challenger and tried running on foot, but officers quickly found him near the trees and put him in cuffs. The wild ride ended in the dirt with nowhere left to run. It was just after 1 a.m. when a Florida trooper spotted a Toyota Supra tearing across the Gandy Bridge at 93 miles per hour. Built for speed, the Supra is a street racer's dream, but that night it wasn't outrunning anyone. It was heading straight for a crash, a fire, and a pair of handcuffs. At the far end of the bridge, the trooper moved in and hit him with a PIT. The Supra spun out, slid onto the shoulder, and slammed into a light pole. Seconds later, the car caught fire. Flames lit up the night as the trooper moved in and got both the driver and passenger out before things got worse. The driver, 31-year-old Brandon Ramnarine of Tampa, was taken into custody. He and his 32-year-old passenger were both hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. Arkansas State Police locked on to a gold Pontiac Grand Am flying down the I-57. And when ASP is behind you and you're doing 120 miles per hour, you already know how this ends. The suspect had no clue what was waiting ahead. That Pontiac was pushing over 110 miles per hour when ASP trooper Jess Burris took over. At that speed, one wrong move could end it all. At mile marker 41, Trooper Burris made his move. He hit the Grand Am with a PIT maneuver so hard, the car spun out violently and slammed into the cable barrier. And you think that was the most painful part of this chase? Nope.
Let me see your hand! Let me see your hand! Get out of the car! Hands up now!
After the brutal crash, the driver sat in the wrecked Pontiac for nearly 6 minutes, just chilling, still drinking his beer like nothing happened. Cops surrounded the car, shouting commands, but he wasn't having it. You can't disrespect Arkansas State Police like that and expect to walk away smooth.